Man, oh, man. What just a spicy chicken wrap with just a little extra Polynesian sauce on the side. You dip it a little bit, just like Brandon likes to do. You eat it a little bit, just like Brandon likes to do. I mean, week 18 was, it was a spicy chicken wrap. I don't know about you, but man, oh, man, do we have some things to talk about. What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to, the final NFL regular season edition of Meat on the 50 for the 2023-2024 NFL season. We are now on to Super Wild Card Weekend. We have a ton of stuff to get into. Some teams' playoff hopes just crushed. Stabbed in the heart, embarrassed, some should say, or embarrassing, some should say. But we have a ton to get into. So without further ado, let's start the show. Welcome back. Welcome back to, I said Meat on the 50, but the good, the bad, the ugly. It is time for us to review NFL week number 18. We are done with the NFL regular season. We are on to Super Wildcard Weekend. So that means we need to talk about what the hell just happened this past week in the NFL. And man, oh man, were there an absolute ton of things that just happened. But I'm not going to break it down by myself. I always have a partner with me, or most of the time. Hi, how's it going? I'm Jacob Cutler, one half of the Sports Guys, and as always, joining me, he is the other half of the Sports Guys. He is none other than he's one of my best friends. He is none other than Mr. Brandon Sullivan. Brandon, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Rough last game for the Niners. So, disappointed there. I was hoping that they would pull that one out. And unfortunately, Sam Darnold. So that's exactly what happened. The most Sam Darnold way to lose a game is what happened.
Carson Wentz came to ball. Carson Wentz trying to show that he's still got some left in the tank.
No. Sam Darnold just played awful. We were up, 2 touchdowns. Jake Moody missed some kicks, and they just. You're going to play like that against third-string retread, fine. But I've never liked Carson Wentz, so right. You can continue.
We will surely get into that game a little bit. I know it was backup, so, you can't read into it too much. But we'll definitely touch on that. But quickly, we will go over how we did to end off the regular season. We're going to put it up on the screen. Yeah. For yourself, you needed to lose 6 games or less, or 5 games or less, to not crack 100 losses on the season. And that is exactly what you did, my friend. 11-5, 1-0 on your guaranteed victories. For myself, 9-7, 1-0 on my guaranteed victories. So overall for the season, that puts us at domination. Wait till you hear this winning percentage. 173-99 for you, my friend. Great job on staying under 100 games for the losses. You did it. Congratulations. Absolutely outstanding. 15-3 for your guaranteed victories. For myself, 158-114, 13-5 on my guaranteed victories. And then for our special guests, 52-38, 3-3 on their guaranteed victories. Good news is we will have special guests joining us for the playoff round. Very excited about that. But we're going to highlight that 173 and 99, because that is a 75% winning percentage, my friend. 75%. Great job. Well done. How do you feel?
Yeah, man, it's awesome. Every week, like I do really want to be accurate. I try not to be emotional. Sometimes, I pick against the Seahawks and things like that because I don't like them. But, I try to be as, rational and logical with my picks as possible. You and I, we're the dream team, man. We can, we do a lot better than most analysts do. So I'm pretty stoked to hear, how good we both did.
Yeah, you at a 75%, me at a 68%. The great news is we have well surpassed our last two seasons in terms of how we done in terms of picking games. So that is great news. So for all of you new tuning in, we may I may not say things correct or properly all the time, but we may just know what we're talking about over here. Okay, we may just a smidge. We may know what we're talking about. All right, but 61% combined correct percentage this season, so solid job there. But yeah, 75% for you individually, 68% for me, and what a hell of a regular season it was. So let's wipe those off the screen and let's get into it. Give me your final good for the NFL regular season, week 18. What do you got for me?
Well, I'm going to start with the offensive player of the year and CJ Stroud. Just a wonderful win on the road for Houston to get a big credit to D'Amico Ryans, obviously the 49ers previous defensive coordinator. Texans were looking really bad last season, and to turn that around, that's something to definitely to be proud of. So,
are you saying offensive player of the year? Or are you saying offensive rookie of the year?
Offensive rookie of the year.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. The offensive rookie of the year is going to be, and just all around the rookie of the year, there's not a better rookie than CJ Stroud. So, to turn that team around, that's huge. I was not expecting that at all. So, credit to them. I thought he would be better than Bryce Young coming out, and obviously we were both right about that, but I don't think either of us imagined the Texans making the playoffs this year. I thought, at best they would crack 6 or 7 wins. We didn't think
I agree.
Playoff contenders. So
completely agree.
Stroud, credit to them. And then Detroit, back to their winning ways. They needed that, going in to the wild card weekend. So, credit to Detroit for playing a good game against the Vikings. Divisional opponents are always difficult. It doesn't matter when or where you play them and who it is. So Detroit, big credit to them. And then New Orleans. I know we wanted to get into this a little bit, obviously controversial there at the end of the game, but 48-17 win. And I just kind of wanted to get your take on that, Jake. I mean, Tyrann Mathieu intercepts the ball, takes it down to the 1 yard line. Jameis Winston said that was our house call. It was the team's decision, not Dennis Allen's decision. I don't have a problem with it. I don't, because here's the thing. Would it have been an issue if Tyrann Mathieu would have scored there? So I just want to get your feedback on it.
I just think Jameis Winston is by far the funniest human being, or one of the funniest human beings I've ever seen in my life. Like, just put a microphone in front of this man. His explanation of everything that happened was just phenomenal. And you can't blame Arthur Smith for being upset, because obviously he's not going to know what happened in that time. You can't even blame Dennis Allen for being like, what the hell is happening? Like, why are you cussing me out? Like, I didn't call that, bro. Definitely putting Dennis Allen in an awkward position. But yeah, Jameis is absolutely hysterical, and Shannon Sharp needs to calm the hell down. No, he doesn't. Yeah. Jameis doesn't need to be cut or whatever he's claiming that it basically needs to happen to Jameis Winston. He needs to be out of the league. He needs to be cut. He needs to be removed. No, it's
if Nick Mullins
it's a rival. It's a rival game. They don't like.
There's a lot of retread that are in the league. I mean, look at Sam Darnold. Look at CJ Beathard. I mean, there's a lot of backup quarterbacks. Like, it's a rivalry, like you said. They don't like each other.
Yeah.
So it's like you're in their house and you were flapping your gums probably the last time you guys are playing. It's what happens, man.
I agree.
It really is. And so I'm definitely okay with it. It doesn't matter anyways. Arthur Smith is gone. So, bye-bye.
Gone. They made the quick work.
Other ones.
Quick work.
Couple other ones. Green Bay, hell of a way to cap off the season. Jordan Love is not who we thought he was. He's actually a pretty decent quarterback. So Green Bay, they've always had good quarterbacks, and it's a pretty good situation for him to be able to sit behind Rodgers for a few years and learn from, one of the best quarterbacks of all time. So, credit to Green Bay for cracking a playoff position. I did not think that they would this year either. So another surprise. New York Giants,
did everyone a favor.
They did everybody a favor. The New York Giants beat the Philadelphia Eagles 27-10. Credit to Tyrod Taylor. Just a big all-around game to beat them. I'm happy for New York, to go out like that and to just shut down Philly and shut them up. So, so good for them. And then
since Big Dom, dude, 1-5 or 2, I think 1-5, yeah.
Since the 49ers, let's start there.
Yeah, true.
And last but not least, Buffalo. To overcome the 3 turnovers that Josh Allen did, I mean, he had some heroics at the end of the game. And, Miami battling some really, really big injuries and just some bad luck on their side to end the season. But credit to the Buffalo Bills for winning 5 straight games. I think you told me, what was it, like a 2 to 5% chance they were going to be the winners of their division like 5 or 6 weeks ago, and then they turned it around, and they're the 2nd seed. Think about that. They went from 6 and 7. They went from the 7th to the 6th to the 2nd seed, and no one wants to play in Buffalo. I'm sorry, most people do not want to play in Buffalo. What you got for me, Jake?
I think you hit on all good points. I think, the Saints thing was hilarious, honestly. And the Falcons made quick work of getting Arthur Smith out of there. We'll definitely touch on some of the coaching changes that have happened that have rippled kind of through the NFL at this point. A lot of changes have happened. But what good did I see? I saw the Bengals, Jake Browning, ending the season on a stellar high note. I know it was against the Cleveland Browns B squad, but Joe Mixon getting his incentive, getting his touchdown so he can hit his incentive. Tyler Boyd getting a great send-off. We don't know what's going to happen with his future. T. Higgins getting a good send-off. We don't know what's going to happen with his future. All these guys, DJ Reader, a lot of these guys who we don't really know what's going to happen coming up in this offseason, got a good send-off. They absolutely dominated the Browns. They came out, played tough. Jake Browning after the game, making a good statement saying, he knows that he is definitely a top 32 quarterback in the world and he can definitely play in this league. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, that's the thing. I would rather have a solid backup who, if Joey does get injured, we can rely on him to get the job done. So I would not move him unless it was like for a crazy, ridiculous trade. Other than
Folsom's finest, baby.
Yeah, I would hang on to him. Because, Joey, I love him, but he's been shown to be injury prone. So I want Joey to stay healthy. I need Joey to stay healthy, but I would love to have somebody like Jake Browning behind him. And I have full confidence in Jake that he can get the job done, especially since he seems like a worker. So he seems like he's going to take this offseason.
Especially since he's got a good first name.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, matching first names. I think, but he's going to attack this offseason. I think he's really going to focus on what he needs to focus on to develop his quarterbacking. So we'll see what happens with the Bengals heading into 2024, 2025. Joe Burrow, posting on Instagram, Return of the Jedi. So, Luke Skywalker injuring his hand and Empire, and then coming back with the robot hand and Return of the Jedi. So, Joey is the man, dude. So
he's pretty, to talk about Jameis Winston's fun. Joe Burrow's pretty funny too.
Yeah. He's got a good dry sense of humor. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, Lions, like you said, good bounce back. The Tennessee Titans ending on a strong note, sending Derrick Henry off. Looks like on a good farewell. I know where Derrick Henry's going, and I really don't like it. So if he would not I mean, if any other team aside from the Baltimore Ravens would please sign Derrick Henry, I would truly appreciate it. Pittsburgh or Baltimore or New England. Those are the three teams I think, unfortunately, he's going to wind up on. I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see what happens. Nevertheless, he got a solid send-off. The Jets in the snow, in the cold, ending possibly Bill Belichick's tenure there in New England. What a run it has been for Bill. We'll see what happens in his next chapters. Some legendary coaches have been retiring. Wink, wink, cough, cough. We will cover that and here shortly. But the Jets playing tough, looking strong, hanging in there, going out on a high note. The Bucks, ugly. I mean, they got a good victory. I mean, it's good, ugly. It's a mix. It's guggly. That's what it is. 9-0 against the Carolina Panthers. Come on. Packers, like you said, I mean, we were definitely trashing Jordan Love. He did not seem like he was going to be able to do it or able to get it done this season, but he has definitely turned it around. It hasn't been pretty, but he's been working with the pieces that he has, and he's been doing relatively good. I mean, so good that he's got him in the playoffs. So they're in the tournament. They're in the dance. They're dancing. We'll see what happens. Anything can happen in the NFL playoffs. So Jordan Love got your team in there.
Green Bay's great, just like Jake and Jake just highlighted, anything can happen in the playoffs. So they could knock off. We've seen it happen. We've seen the lowest seed knock off the highest seed.
Yep. I mean, it has happened in the past, and it can definitely happen on I believe Sunday. Yeah. Raiders, Antonio Pierce getting a massive victory there at home against the Denver Donkeys. Antonio Pierce, where is he going to end up? Is he going to be a Raider? Is he going to be a Giant? Giants looking at him for the defensive coordinator position. Is he going to be the Titans? I saw that the Titans were interested in Antonio Pierce. I definitely think that the Raiders should just let it ride with Antonio Pierce. Let's see what happens. Let's give him a chance. He definitely has that Raiders locker room. He definitely has the Raiders locker room's ear right now. So they're all listening to him. They all want to fight for him. They all want to play for him. He has been shown to have success as a head coach and with the Raider organization. Aiden O'Connell is not the greatest. He's not the greatest quarterback in the world. I don't know if he's going to be a franchise quarterback.
No, they're going to get Jim Harbaugh, and then they're going to draft J.J. McCarthy. So I think Pierce will be a defensive. I think Antonio Pierce will be a defensive coordinator, and I think they'll retain him. He'll go from a linebackers coach, and it'll be a promotion still to a defensive coordinator. They'll bring in Harbaugh, and then if J.J. McCarthy is high on the board, they'll trade up for him. If he's low, then they can take him with 14th or 15th pick.
Wow,
so
what a hot take.
That's what I think is happening.
What a hot take. I love it. Giants, like you said, going out on a high note. The damn Sea Chickens. Somehow, some way, scraping, clawing. Unbelievable. Getting the job done, finishing their season on a high note. Unfortunately,
irrelevant. Go smoke a cigar, okay?
Yeah. Unfortunately, they won't be in the NFL playoffs. Yeah, boom, roasted. And their head coach, Pete Carroll. Cheat Carroll, as some might say. Pete Carroll, legendary head coach. It looks like it seems like they are part of ways. I'm also seeing reports that he is also retiring as well. So if Pete Carroll is retiring, definitely a hell of a career. Definitely a scandalous career. But, with all that being said, definitely his history with USC, his history with the Seahawks before their rivalry with the Niners really kind of heated up. But with Matt Hasselbeck, Marshawn Lynch, guys like that, he's definitely a solid coach, and he's definitely led the Seahawks to a lot of great things. So if Pete Carroll is done, hell of a career for Pete. We'll see what happens next with him. The Chiefs finishing on a high note. I mean, the Rams, unfortunately, they finished their season on a high note. They are in the
bring
playoffs.
That up to the good. Why do you got to bring that in the good?
I mean, it's okay. Mediocre. We'll call it mediocre. Cowboys ending their season strong, and then the Bills fighting, clawing, just doing everything they can to stay at the top of that division now for the 4th consecutive year, I believe, have won the AFC East. Dolphins traditionally choke in the second half of the season. I mean, nothing has really changed. I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter who the coach is. The Dolphins choke in the second half of the season.
Always.
I mean, it's really crazy. So Mike McDaniels has to play on the road now. Dolphins headed on the road. I watched the Dolphins Hard Knocks episode of that game yesterday, and my 2 takeaways that I got from watching that was the overall vibe of that team, one, feels very down. They do not seem like they are ready to actually take that next step and actually be the AFC champions, AFC East champions, and make some noise in the playoffs. And number 2 is I like Mike McDaniels, but man, oh man, does the arrogance that comes off that he just kind of emits sometimes really can turn off the players. You can just see it. They're basically sitting around announcing all the Pro Bowlers, and it's the first time that Raheem Morris, I think, got in. It's the first time that another former Niner, but Raheem Morris, Alec Ingold's first time, a former Raider, excuse me, and then somebody else's, but then it was Taron Armstead and Tyreek Hill was also in there, and they're talking about their first time, and Taron Armstead is basically giving them advice, like telling them to cherish it, be proud that you're a Pro Bowl, you've been accepted. And Mike McDaniels is kind of sitting there awkwardly, and like a really good moment to champion up these guys, and basically takes the time to be like, you know what, it's great that you guys did this, but it's really not that great. And I'm paraphrasing, and that's not exactly what he said, but that's kind of the overall message. You can see it on Tyreek Hill's face that he was not vibing with Mike McDaniel's comments. So,
and Mike McDaniel, a lot of his swagger from Kyle Shanahan. I mean, you were, you know what I'm saying? You were riding Kyle Shanahan's coattail. You mean to tell me, I mean, he did a good job, but you mean to tell me you think that we're the same freaking team without Mike McDaniel? So it's like, if we just collapsed because you were gone, but it's like you really did ride Kyle Shanahan's coattail. So be a little bit more humble.
I agree. But yeah, Bills making a statement victory, winning the AFC East, and with all that kind of downside banter towards the Dolphins, let's lead that right into the bad and the ugly, the bugly, I should say. What do you got for me?
There definitely was some ugly this week. Just want to start off with New England, obviously. Just Bailey's out 88 yards, 3 points at home, and Bill Belichick's farewell game. I thought they would have played a little bit harder for the man, but anyways,
the
weather, whatever. But here's the thing. Bad situation. Obviously, on the flip side of the New Orleans game, Atlanta played like hot garbage.
Yeah.
Just terrible. Just terrible. Carolina, one of the worst teams in the last 10 years. Just a terrible owner, terrible, throwing water or throwing
drinks
at people and getting fined $300,000 when you're worth $300 billion. Like, it's like me getting fined a penny.
Yeah.
For doing something. Obviously.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, ugly situation for them. 10 points.
Not looking good.
Like you said, since Dom, your guy Dom, that's your dude, your guy Dom. 1-5. Go on. What were you gonna say? Don't what?
Nothing, dude. Don't make me buy a ticket, dude. I'm gonna buy a one-way ticket, dude, on the fucking sleep train. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
One-way ticket. What? There's no coming back from that. Is that what you're saying?
There's no coming back for you, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
watch that match.
And then the Chargers, just Easton Stick, just a terrible ending to the Chargers season. Is this franchise ever going to get it together? I don't know. I really don't. I mean, this franchise has one of the best quarterbacks that they don't know how to use. They always have like defensive and offensive
Jim
weapons.
Harbaugh, dude.
They're just, yeah, that is something that they need. I just don't see him going there as opposed to the Raiders. I mean, here's the thing: if he does, I have a friend that would be pretty happy, so I'll be happy for him. But obviously, it's I don't know. I just don't know what's going to go on with the Chargers. I really don't. Ugly situation for Sam Darnold, fumbling the game away at the end, some drop passes, some stupid penalties. Definitely really, really disappointed in, my team. And then obviously the Washington Commanders, the Washington Asterisks, the Washington football team, the Washington Redskins, the Washington, what are they going to be named next? The Washington, are they going to have a new UXFL name?
Yeah.
So looking forward to that league, by the way. But we'll definitely have to go to a game together, Jake, the UFL game. But that reminds me, it's the Commanders remind me of the UFL. Miami, just an ugly performance, some injuries, some turnovers, and just an unfortunate way, like we said, for the Miami Dolphins to end their season.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much to say on so many of these ugly situations. Let's see, where do I want to begin? Let's see. The Colts not being able to convert that was very bad, very ugly. It was a very bad pass by Gardner Minshew on that 4th and 1 play, but I will give credit where credit's due. The running back / receiver, I guess, took credit for it. He was tearing up. He was crying basically in his locker room when he was talking about it, but he took credit for it. It did touch his hands. He did have an opportunity to catch it, but your quarterback needs to put you in a much better situation and he needs to provide you with a much better throw, especially in a crucial situation like that. And the head coach, I believe he got caught on videotape, basically mouthing to Gardner Minshew that play was on him. Like that, the reason why we're losing is because it's on you. So the Colts taking a dramatic loss. Not only getting knocked out of the playoffs, but also losing their opportunity to win that AFC South. What else did we see? The Vikings, Justin Jefferson. I mean, the Jet could be on a different team next year. I'll say that. We'll see what happens in this offseason, but Justin Jefferson could definitely be playing for a different team in 2024 and 2025. We'll see what happens there. The Jaguars. Oh, man, what a collapse. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence was injured, but man, oh, man, what a collapse. You come out and you give that. You come out and you give that. Oh, they don't deserve it. And that's exactly what happens. They didn't deserve it. And man, oh man, they just weren't ready. They didn't come to play. They were getting destroyed until they got lucky with that interception close there at the end of the game. And then Trevor Lawrence just couldn't convert. Injuries, yes, I will say Trevor Lawrence was injured, but he could not get the job done. The Falcons, a pitiful performance, like you were saying, an absolute pitiful performance to try and get the division. Bryce Young, yes, Carolina Panthers not even be able to score a field goal. Just terrible. Absolutely terrible on a day where Baker was definitely injured for like 85% of that game. So not a great game to watch. That was a bugly game for sure. We'll see what happens going on with Tampa Bay when they take on the Eagles next week. But yeah, that game to end the season, no bueno. The Eagles, the fall of the Philadelphia Eagles, potential fraud alert. We're getting closer to actual frauds, but potential fraud alert is definitely on the Philadelphia Eagles after losing that game to the Giants, even after playing Jalen Hurts, even after playing A.J. Brown, who got hurt, even after playing their starters. The Giants came out and absolutely destroyed the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, definitely an ugly performance for the Eagles. Commanders, like you said, and then, yeah, I've already talked about the Dolphins, but again, the Dolphins need to get it together. They need to get it together. I mean, you can't let this stuff happen. You can't. Year in, year out, you cannot let this stuff happen. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. That's going to do it. That is going to do it for this edition of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. We are done with the NFL regular season. We are on to Super Wild Card Weekend. What a season it has been. What a regular season it has been, I should say. We're all setting up. We're done. The playoff is set. The tournament is set. The brackets are set. The seeds are set. The AFC, NFC are ready to clash to see who truly is the best team of the 2023-2024 NFL season. Brandon, any last words for the people?
Like I told you last week, it's crazy how quickly this season flew by, but just a lot of storylines this year, a lot of crazy things shaking up, a lot of crazy games that we're going to get into.
Yeah.
And although your team and my team aren't playing this weekend, it's going to be very entertaining for us both.
Yep, I agree. I'm ready for this weekend. I'm excited. What an NFL regular season we had witnessed this season. No ties, 0 ties this year. Every game had a winner and a loser. I mean, we got, 14 teams left? Is that right? Yeah, we got 14 teams left to decide. We're done with the NFL regular season. That was The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. I am Jacob Cutler, one half of the Sports Guys. He is Brandon Sullivan, the other half of the Sports Guys. And, I mean, both of us are ready to go. We're ready to talk about it, and we can't wait. So, with that being said, we'll see you in our picks episode. Brandon, Jake, we're out.